Hey guys, it's Chris here back again for another informative review video. This one is actually a product purchase review plus an actual store review as well too. Because what I'm talking about right now specifically is my one milled DDI AK gun right here. This is the under 4. It's called the DDI 47U as DDI called them whenever they actually came out on the market. I think back in 2014. I think it was early 24 or late 20. I can't remember exactly, but this is the one gun I actually had to get replaced because the first one I got was absolute crap, and DDI had to unfortunately replace it with this one I currently have right now for that. And the reason I'm making this video specifically is I actually replaced the bolt carrier in this one specifically because unfortunately some of the DDI guns out there, they claimed that the actual parts kits were like, new old stock and in excellent condition, stuff like that. But unfortunately, the actual bolt carrier I got for my gun was pretty much banged up and beat up, especially in the back of the tailing, on the back of the bolt carrier, plus also in the actual channel where the actual one of the I keep on thinking what's called, the actual bolt lug rides inside the channel. It was pretty chewed up in there as well too. So the gun I actually had originally with the original bolt carrier looked kind of banged up, like the guy might have, whoever had from probably back in the 50s must have put a few thousand rounds to the gun, and it was a no shape kind or type out there, an excellent or like new parts kit right there for that. And I just want to give a review. I bought a new Polish Type 3, I think it's early 60s milled receiver bolt carrier to actually go with this one. And what I actually did was originally, sometimes you hear people telling you online that you have to headspace the gun after you change out your bolt carrier. You do not have to do this at all, guys. So it's definitely not needed specifically when you're changing out your bolt carrier. If you're changing out your bolt, yes, you do have to headspace the gun properly, because if you put a new bolt in there and headspace is even off by a small amount, you can have separated cases, stuck cases, and even if the gun is extremely bad headspace, it can possibly blow up in your face. So if you're going to change out your bolt itself, you have to headspace the gun. If you're just changing out your bolt carrier, you do not have to headspace your gun. And because the only thing the bolt carrier does is move the bolt to and from the lockup position with the lockup lugs right there for them. It does not affect the headspace whatsoever right there for that. So Circle 10, this is the company I actually bought it from, and they sell new old stock parts right now. I think maybe a few weeks back they were selling these specific parts on it, because I think I actually checked their website out about a month and a half, almost 2 months ago, and they had a big boatload of old original AK-47 parts, and I snagged up some parts on it, especially like the bolt carrier, the extractor, gas tube, a couple other pins and stuff like that on the actual Circle 10 website, and they all function perfectly fine for me and my guns over here. And I just want to give a review, let you guys know that if you need any parts for any of your guns, your bolt carrier, AK-47 Type 3 bolt carrier, should also fit also in your AKM and your other AKM variants. The only difference is you have to have one with a thick stem AK-47 bolt. Your Bulgarian Circle 10 AK, like I have right here, this is almost identical. The actual parts, the actual guts inside right there for that. So these two pieces, they have the same style stem, except the DDI gun I have right here does not have a spring-loaded firing pin at all. It's a free-floating firing pin. Some people like it, other people don't. Personally, I do like the Bulgarian Circle 10 ones like I have right here, because the firing pin is spring-loaded, so if you ever get any kind of gum or crap down inside the actual firing pin channel right there that might cause a slam fire issue, or possibly a slam fire issue, having a spring-loaded firing pinner will definitely keep the gun from going into like a full auto type of mode, or simply locking into the forward position right here for that. But for all intents and purposes, having a free-floating firing pin, as long as the firing pin channel is clean and your bolts in good shape, you don't really have to worry about that at all for that. So specifically, that's perfectly fine either way. So I just want to give a review, guys, about the DDI gun again. Just want to give you an update on what I did here for that, because if most of you know who are actually following the channel. Like I said before, unfortunately, whenever I first got the one from AIM Surplus, he had to be sent back and replaced, and had to be replaced by a DDI because it was faulty, and this one had to be sent out for me. So it's functioning as of right now perfectly fine for me. Also, the ALG trigger is working perfectly fine. That's one smooth ass, sweet ass trigger, if you can say it right there, for that. And if you're ever in the market for upgrading your AK with a new trigger, I definitely recommend getting the AKT-E trigger. And also, there's one other thing I should mention about the AKT. I do recommend grinding off the back of the foot-shaped looking area on the back of the disconnector, and also reprofile the actual hammer face on there as well too, because your AKT ALG hammer on there has a couple bumps and raised areas that should be flattened off to make the gun cycle a lot smoother right there for that. Plus, you want to polish and buff the face for almost like a mirror shine right there for that. So that's my review right there for that, guys. So if anybody has any comments, questions, whatnot, I just talked about the parts, and I mentioned right here today specifically were bought from Circle 10 AK. Go to their website for all AK authentic types and stuff like that. They treated me good. That's from an actual legitimate standpoint. I'm not bought and paid for anything else by the company like some other YouTube guys are, some of the real big names out there. So I do definitely recommend them for my specific legitimate standpoint of actually purchasing parts from them. They're definitely a good company. So if you have any problems, if you want to get new parts for your AK out there, that's one shop that I do recommend, circle10ak.com. So I'll see you guys. Have a nice day.